Welcome back to this Yankee Chronicle special. I'm John O'Connor, and today, President Dean McCurdy, it's great to meet you and great to be here on the campus of Colby-Sawyer College.
Well, thank you for coming. Great to be here, John, and excited to talk about Colby-Sawyer in the future.
Well, and you know, before we get to that, I'd love to just understand how you got here. I mean, you went from a school that I think the system was 190,000 students to a really pretty small liberal arts college in a wonderful part of New Hampshire. How did you decide to make that transition?
So, you know, my roots in higher education go back over 30 years and started a long time ago in New England as an immigrant to the United States, came from Canada where I did my education there. And my first two stops in my journey were actually at small private liberal arts colleges, Bowdoin College and then Albion College in Michigan, where I was for a long time as faculty. From there, I transitioned into the two-year college space. I followed a lot of my students after the Great Recession, looking to make a connection into the workforce, and did workforce development and education for many years, which led me to larger and larger institutions and public institutions, of course, including one, as you mentioned, with over 200,000 students. But for me, my roots have always been at the small private college world, and always wanted to come back and bring the lessons I'd learned from both public and private, small and large institutions, traditional education and workforce training, to refocus on that liberal arts mission. So for me, it's really coming full circle in my career.
So the liberal arts mission, how much of that was in your previous life at community colleges, and how much of that vocational job preparation is in your new life at Colby-Sawyer?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I'm really bringing the fusion of those two things together. I think my contribution when I went to the two-year college world was bringing the lessons learned from a solid liberal arts education. You know, the critical thinking skills, problem solving, communication, teamwork skills that we teach our students so effectively in the liberal arts model. So I brought that to the two-year college world, but what I gained from that experience was a very deep understanding of the needs of our workforce and how colleges can be not just an educational institution, but an engine for workforce development. And so that experience from those, or two-year rather, community college environments really helped me get focused on my why and a why for education beyond education for education's sake. So, so what I really am excited about doing here is bringing those two things together in a college that really has a hybrid model already, you know, with our focus on healthcare, but also our roots in liberal arts. So I think that's the best experience for students and really helps provide not just for a job, but an entire career.
And I understand at Colby-Sawyer, almost all the students, maybe all the students, have a required internship?
Yes.
Was that something that attracted you to this? Or?
Absolutely it was. That was a major attraction for me. And, you know, as I was thinking about my next steps in my career, thinking about, you know, where are the forward institutions that are really leaning into the world as it's changing, institutions that are resilient and dynamic and innovative. And Colby-Sawyer has a long tradition in its 188-year history of innovation, of changing when needed, but yet remaining true to the values at the core of the institution. So for me, that was very attractive. It signaled to me, and I think it signals to the world, that it's a college that wants to combine that traditional foundational education with those relevant career experiences that we know our students need.
And I mean, that's really, I mean, people talk about experiential learning, and that's really at the core of this style of education.
Yes, as you said, every student does an internship, but our students are also out in the community. We're going to be continuing to do more and more of that, combining that experience that you would get through an apprenticeship type of model, again, much beyond the traditional classroom environment, right? We know that's not only important for the development of our students, it's also what attracts students today. You know, higher ed has struggled in the last couple of decades with public perception, right, and relevancy. And yet we know there's never been a more valuable time for the type of education that a Colby-Sawyer provides. So we need to meet our market where it is and continue to help our students develop in a way that will allow them to be productive citizens.
Well, that's great. So thank you for that. And when we return, we're going to continue our conversation about the strategies helping Colby-Sawyer and its students become productive members of society.